everyone. In the last class, we were seeing regarding osmosis and diffusion processes, right? There were two processes of osmosis. One was osmosis and one was diffusion, right? So in the last video, there was some problem with the part of osmosis. I had just explained it in a wrong manner. The correct part will be explained in this video. Okay, because of some confusion I had explained it in the wrong manner. I will just explain it to you all in a proper manner in this part. So what were the things we had seen in diffusion is nothing but in diffusion, any substance which is needed to enter the cell, it entered from a region of higher concentration to low concentration, right? So say suppose if there was a cell which was having low water inside it, okay, say suppose the water droplets inside the cell were low. Okay, so what happened, and if suppose there was high water content outside the cell, so what happened, the water started to move directly from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, so this was the process of diffusion, right? So now today what we'll be seeing is we will be seeing regarding osmosis. Osmosis is also the same process. Okay, and there is nothing different in osmosis. The water or any substance moves from higher concentration to lower concentration just through a semi-permeable membrane. So what is this? I will just tell you. The process of diffusion and osmosis are both same, just only a semi-permeable membrane is involved in the process of osmosis. Okay, so what happens is osmosis, I will just tell you. Say suppose there is one fruit. Okay, the water content inside that fruit is very less. Okay, there is very less water inside the fruit. Say suppose you take example of a chana, okay, a dry chana. Yeah, if you take an example of dry chana, you can see that whenever you take dry chanas, how they are very hard. Okay, the water content inside all those cells, okay, there are many cells inside this chana. Okay, so all the cells have lost their water. Okay, and hence the seed of chana has become very hard. Okay, so what we do, we put it inside water, isn't it? So what we do, we put it inside water. Okay, so what happens is, since there is low water content inside this, okay, chana, what happens, this water tries to, H2O is nothing but water. Okay, so what happens to water? Water will try to enter this chana. Okay, and what will happen, this chana will absorb water and it will become very soft. Okay, and so that we may be able to eat it. Okay, so this is nothing but it is the process of, say suppose, diffusion. Okay, so water is moving directly from a region of higher concentration. Here outside the chana, the concentration of water is very high. Okay, whereas inside the chana, the dry chana, the water concentration is very low. So what happens, the higher water wherever it is present, it will enter the cells of chana. Okay, what will happen, there are many different small cells inside this chana. So what will happen to those cells is they will absorb water from outside. Okay, from here they will absorb water. Okay, so what will happen is this chana will get swollen up. Okay, so this process is called as diffusion. Okay, if it takes place in the presence of a semi-permeable membrane, so there is a membrane which is regulating this process. Okay, so this is called as semi-permeable membrane. Okay, semi-permeable membrane. So what this semi-permeable membrane does, whenever chana is or any of the substance is put inside water, what it will do is nothing but it will sense that there is low water content inside the fruit or the cells. So the cells whichever are there, they have lesser water content. So what it will try to do, it will try to absorb water. Okay, so whenever such semi-permeable membrane is involved in nothing but absorbing water from a region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, what will happen is that this process will be called as osmosis. Okay, what will this process be called as? Osmosis. It is similar to that of diffusion. Just in diffusion what happens is water moves directly without any semi-permeable membrane. Okay, so over here there is a semi-permeable membrane which regulates this process. It doesn't allow water to directly flow. Okay, so this semi-permeable membrane will block the water and water will move on slowly. Okay, so what happens whenever your chana or any of the substance needs to be soaked, what happens, it takes some time. Why? Because there are semi-permeable membrane, the process is nothing but osmosis, so hence it requires some time. So water to transport from a region of high concentration, from higher concentration to lower concentration, to penetrate inside the substance, it requires a little bit extra time. Why? Because there is semi permeable membrane which is involved. Okay, there is semi permeable membrane which is involved. Okay, so what the semi permeable membrane does is nothing but it blocks the water, and the flow of water inside the cell will be a little bit slower. Okay, and however much water it wants, on that only amount of water it will take. Okay, it won't take any extra excess amount of water. Okay, so that is also been regulated by this semi permeable membrane. Okay, this is a very interesting membrane which regulates all the things inside the cell. Okay, so I hope the diffusion and osmosis processes are clear to all of you all. Just the thing is that in diffusion there is no semi-permeable membrane. Okay, and in osmosis there is semi-permeable membrane. So this membrane will allow water to slowly pass inside the cell. Okay, it won't allow directly water to pass inside the cell, it will allow water to pass very slowly inside the cell. Okay, so we had seen in the last class regarding cytoplasm, we had seen nucleus, various parts of the nucleus. We had seen chromosome, nuclear membrane, and various parts of the chromosome. Okay, DNA, protein. Yeah, so today we'll be seeing regarding nucleus. Okay, so in the last video we had also seen what is the use of plasma membrane inside the cell. Okay, so it is like a type of a security for the cell organelles. Okay, all the cell parts. Okay, it protects all the cell parts from any external things. Okay, or external substances. It also protects the cell organelles from moving out of the cell. Okay, it keeps the cell intact. Okay, it keeps the cell together. So the next thing is regarding nucleus. Okay, so what is nucleus? Nucleus is a darkly colored spherical or oval dot like structure near the center of the cell. So say suppose this is the cell. Okay, so nucleus will be present in the middle. Okay, every time, middle or at the side, anywhere you can draw it. Okay, but it will be present as a most, it will cover most of the part of the cell. Why? Because nucleus is a very important part of the cell which takes place in which functions in nothing but division of the cell. It helps in the division of the cell. Okay, so nucleus is very important in dividing the cell. Say suppose this is the nucleus. If you cut this cell, what will happen is this one single cell will produce two small cells which can again replicate, and they can make more and more number of cells. This is how our body is formed. Okay, so our body at the early stages, it was a single cell. Okay, so after that what happened, due to repeated cell division, because of cell dividing, what happened is we became a multicellular organism. Why? Because we have many n number of cells, like some cells performing function of respiration, excretion, some cells performing function like for sensation, like nervous cells. Okay, nerve cells. So these are various types of cells which perform various different functions. Okay, so from a single cell we became a from unicellular organism we became a multicellular organism because of this cell division. Okay, so nucleus does the job of cell division. That is very important. Okay, so nucleus is mainly involved in the process of cell division. Okay, so what happens in this nucleus? Double layer covering the cell nucleus is called as nuclear membrane. So in the last class, as I had told you in the online class, we had seen that what is nuclear membrane. Okay, so this, say suppose this is the cell, and say suppose this is the nucleus inside the cell. Okay, so this nucleus has a membrane outside it. Okay, so there is one membrane which is protecting that nucleus. Okay, as you can see over here, there is nuclear membrane which is protecting the nucleus. Okay, what is the job of this membrane? Is nothing but to hold the parts inside the nucleus very properly. Okay, so which are the various different parts inside the nucleus? We had seen, right? Chromosomes were there, DNA was there, proteins were there, genes and chromatin was there. So this whole thing made nothing but your nucleus. Okay, so there were parts inside the nucleus which needed to be protected. Who used to protect this? Is nothing but nuclear membrane used to protect the parts inside the nucleus. If you can see over here, these are nothing but chromosomes. Okay, these are called as chromosomes, X shaped. These are called as chromosomes. Okay, and also there is nucleolus, there are chromatin, there is DNA inside the nucleus. There are many things which are present inside the nucleus. So who protects the nucleus is nothing but nuclear membrane. So every organism doesn't have this nuclear membrane. Okay, so generally some organisms do not have this, or some plants, animals do not have this nuclear membrane. So which are those we will be seeing. Okay, what is the function of this nuclear membrane? Porous and transfer the material from nucleus to cytoplasm. So any material which needed to be transferred from, say suppose this is cytoplasm, yeah, which is covering the nucleus. Say suppose anything wants to be delivered to the nucleus. So what who takes the charge to enter anything inside the nucleus is nothing but your nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane is very, very important. Like your cell membrane, it will protect the nucleus, okay, from any of the harmful substances. Okay, so that is very important thing. So there are two types of organisms. Based on this nuclear membrane, the organisms are classified. Okay, so organisms which have nuclear membrane are called as prokaryotes. What it is, sorry, the organisms which have nuclear membrane are called as eukaryotes. Okay, eukaryotes are organisms which have a nuclear membrane. They have a proper nuclear membrane inside there. As you can see over here, this is a prokaryotic, a eukaryotic cell. Okay, a eukaryotic cell has nuclear membrane inside it. If you can see over here, there is no proper nucleus over here. There is no proper nuclear membrane over here. Just the cytoplasm is there and the cell is there. Okay, so there is no nuclear membrane. Such type of organisms are called as prokaryotes. Okay, and the cell which doesn't have nuclear membrane is called as prokaryotic cell, whereas a membrane cell which is having you can say nuclear membrane, it is called as eukaryotic cell. Okay, so what is prokaryotic cell? A prokaryotic cell has doesn't have a proper nucleus also, and not also proper nuclear membrane. There is no proper nucleus, no proper nuclear membrane inside them. Okay, whereas eukaryotes, there is proper nuclear membrane. You can see over here, there is nucleus, and apart from that nucleus is a nuclear membrane. Okay, so in prokaryotic cell there is no nucleus which is found, and in eukaryotic cell there is nucleus which is found. Okay, so generally the size of this cells, okay, or these organisms are very small. Okay, whichever cells prokaryotes have, they are nothing but smaller in size as you compare to eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are very, very large in size. Okay, that's very important. The chromosome number is only single. They have only one set of chromosomes inside them, and over here in eukaryotic cells they have 2, 3, 4 numbers of chromosomes. Okay, so that is very important. Membrane bound cell organelles are absent. Okay, nothing but other cell organelle organs. Okay, cell organelles like say suppose mitochondria or any other cell organelles are absent. Okay, in this, as you can see over here, there are various different cell organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, like there is mitochondria. Okay, so there are organelles, cell organelles which are very, very important. Okay, to perform various different functions. Yeah. So the next thing is we had seen regarding plasma membrane functions. Okay, so next thing, this was regarding nucleus. Okay, what is the role of nucleus? Everything has been provided to you all in your notes. Okay, that's very important. Just refer the notes properly so that all the concepts will be much more clear. Okay, so today we'll be seeing what are the uses of diffusion and osmosis. Okay, in the last class we had seen what is diffusion, what is osmosis, right? So what are the uses of this diffusion and osmosis? First thing is diffusion is essential for nothing but waste product, to remove waste product from the cell. So every cell produces a waste product. Okay, so that is very important, like carbon dioxide from respiration, like there are many waste materials which are produced by the cells. We will not go into much detail. So what is the use of diffusion? Is to remove the waste products from the cell. Okay, so that is very important. Movement of water through a semi permeable membrane is called as osmosis, as you know. Okay, so water moves from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through which type of a membrane? A semi permeable membrane. Okay, there is semi permeable membrane which is involved. Okay, which I had forgotten to explain, to add it in the last class. Okay, so this semi permeable membrane is a very important factor, okay, which regulates how much water will pass, what for what time it will be passing. Okay, so that is regulated by the semi permeable membrane. Okay, so we will see what are the uses of osmosis. So generally it is used in the transportation of water. Okay, so water to transport from one part to another. Say suppose we drink water, the water goes to our stomach. So from stomach it needs to be transported to each and every cell of the body. Why? Because each and every cell requires water. Okay, so this water to be transported, osmosis is a very essential process inside our body for transportation of water. Okay, so transportation of dissolved substances like oxygen, carbon dioxide. Okay, to pass oxygen, carbon dioxide, say suppose we are breathing. Okay, so oxygen goes inside our lungs. So from the lungs it needs to be transported to each and every part of the cell or every part of the body. Why? Because each and every cell requires water and oxygen for their functioning. Okay, so for that purpose what happens is osmosis is very essential. So osmosis helps to transport various different substances. Okay, so it also is essential for transportation of nutritious substances like nutrients. We take various different types of nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, okay, inside our food. So to get energy, okay, so this food nutrients has to be transported to each and every cell, okay, which provide energy to the cell. Okay, so if there is no energy, the cell won't function. If there is no water, the cell won't function. Okay, if there is no oxygen, the cell can't function. So these three things are very very essential: water, oxygen, and nutrients. Okay, nutrients are very essential. So these are the three things which are very very essential for the functioning of the cell. Okay, so generally all these substances are supplied by nothing but the process of diffusion and osmosis to each and every cell. Okay, so that is very very important. Also, after using of this nutrient, this water, this oxygen, what happens is waste products are formed inside the cell, and to remove these waste products, this osmosis process is also very very useful, and diffusion process is also used to remove the waste products. Okay, both this process can be used for removal of the waste products from the cell. Okay, so that is very very important. So now today we have seen now what are the functions and uses of plasma membranes or nothing but cell membrane. Okay, then we have seen of cytoplasm, then we have seen of nucleus. Okay, so now there are 6 more we have to study. Okay, so what are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, the functions of Golgi apparatus, then lysosomes, mitochondria, plastids and vacuoles. Okay, so this we will be covering this in this video. Okay, so what is endoplasmic reticulum? Generally endoplasmic reticulum is divided into 2 parts. Okay, I will show it over here. One is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum and one is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough. Okay, yeah, so rough endoplasmic reticulum. So smooth endoplasmic reticulum, if you see smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is smooth to touch. Okay, so generally smooth endoplasmic reticulum is very very smooth to touch, whereas if you see rough endoplasmic reticulum, say suppose this is endoplasmic reticulum, yeah, and say suppose this endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum is nothing but having a surface which is a little bit rough to touch. Okay, if you touch your tongue, it is slightly rough, right? So that is how the rough endoplasmic reticulum is a little rough sort of a thing. Okay, so whereas if you compare the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it will be very very smooth in it doesn't have any you can say roughness on it. Okay, so smooth endoplasmic reticulum is generally smooth in nature and rough endoplasmic reticulum is generally rough in nature. Okay, it is rough to touch. Yeah, so what is endoplasmic reticulum? It is a large network of membrane bound tubes and sheets. It is type of a sheets. Okay, it is a type of a puzzle. Have you seen any type of a puzzle Okay, so those puzzles used to come of bhul bhulaiya and all. Okay, like that, this endoplasmic reticulum is there inside the cell. Okay, as you can see over here, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, this is generally the endoplasmic reticulum. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see or not. So this is generally the endoplasmic reticulum, if you can see. Okay, type of a over here. Okay, so type of bulbulaya sort of a thing which is covering the nucleus. Okay, so this is rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. If you can see over here, rough endoplasmic reticulum is nothing but, what is the rough endoplasmic reticulum? It is having small dot type of a thing. So it is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum, these are all smooth endoplasmic reticulums. Yeah, so smooth endoplasmic reticulum doesn't have any roughness on them, or nothing but dots on them. Okay, which causes roughness. That's very important. Yeah. So the next thing is, we will see regarding endoplasmic reticulums in this thing. Yeah. So the next thing is, long tubules are and round or oval vacuoles, oval vesicles. Okay, they are type of long tubules. Okay, they are long. Yeah, and they have oval vesicles. Yeah, they are type of like this. They are oval in shape. Okay, they are separated but they are oval in shape. Yeah, they are covering the nucleus generally. Okay, so we will see the types of endoplasmic reticulum. There are two types, as I have told you. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum and one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so looking to rough under the microscope, because it contains particles called as ribosomes. The roughness or the particles which are present on that rough endoplasmic reticulum, they are called as ribosomes. Okay, what is the name for them? Ribosomes. Okay, so what is the job of this ribosome? They produce protein inside our body. Okay, so what is the job of this ribosome? Is to, they are the sites of protein manufacture. Okay, because our body requires a huge amount of protein. Okay, at least as per our body's weight, we require that much amount of protein. Okay, that much grams of protein. Say suppose your body weight is 20 kgs, so you require 20 grams of protein every day. Okay, and we can get protein either by food, or else we can get protein by this ribosomes. What is the job of this ribosome? To produce protein. Okay, they manufacture protein. That is very important. So this rough endoplasmic reticulum has ribosomes which will nothing but manufacture proteins. Okay, so which are very essential for our body. Okay, for our body to become very hard and our bones to become very hard, the proteins are very important. Okay, so ribosome does this job of producing proteins. Okay, so next is nothing but smooth endoplasmic reticulum. What is the job of this smooth endoplasmic reticulum? We'll see. Varies in size. Okay, so generally there are various different sizes of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Some are big. Okay, so say suppose some are small endoplasmic reticulum. If you can see over here, okay, in this cell diagram, if you see, there are various different types of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. This smooth endoplasmic reticulum is bigger. Okay, if you compare it with this is smaller, as you can see. Okay, so there are various different sizes of endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Yeah, so that is very essential. The next thing is, they are smooth in different cells and form network system. They form a network system. Okay, they cover the nucleus and they form a type of a network. Okay, a chain, or you can say a type of a chain. Okay, so this smooth endoplasmic reticulum generally forms a type of a chain. Okay, so we will see the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. What are the functions? Transport of material like protein. Okay, so generally rough endoplasmic reticulum produces proteins inside our body which needs to be transported to each and every part. Okay, so these proteins are used in our day-to-day activities. So to use these proteins, what is done is, this endoplasmic reticulum produces proteins. Okay, so what is the job of this endoplasmic reticulum? Is to make the proteins and supply it to all parts of the body. Okay, so transport of materials like protein within the cell organs. Okay, so that is very important. Providing a surface framework for some biochemical activities of the cell. So any activity the cell wants to do is generally associated with this endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is very essential to for you can say helping activities inside the cell. Okay, so any activities the cell need to do, it is generally seen or taken care by the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so endoplasmic reticulum sees that job. It generally helps to for the functioning of the cell. Okay, so next thing is detoxifying many poisons and drugs. Okay, so detoxifying many poisons and drugs means what? Say suppose we take any medicines and all those things. Okay, so what is the job of this endoplasmic reticulum? It will try to get rid of these medicines. Say suppose we take medicine, yeah. So whenever we take medicine, after say suppose we take paracetamol, okay, because say suppose we have fever and we take paracetamol, what happens is the chemicals inside this paracetamol has to be removed off from the body. Okay, so which is the part which will take part to remove this harmful chemicals is nothing but endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so to remove these chemicals or any you can say poisons inside our body which we take. Okay, so endoplasmic reticulum does this job of removing any poison and drugs from our body. That is very essential. Okay, so this was regarding endoplasmic reticulum. If you know these are the various functions of endoplasmic reticulum. You can study at least 2 to 3 functions from of each part of the cell. Okay, you have to study at least 2 to 3 functions from this cell. Okay, and as I had told you regarding eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell, this is a very important difference. Okay, so difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell is generally asked for at least 1 or 2 marks. Okay, so you have to study 3 to 4 points from this difference, okay, of both prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Okay, so that is very important. Yeah, so the next part is Golgi apparatus. Okay, so Golgi apparatus was generally found and discovered by a scientist which was named as Camillo Golgi. Okay, so name of the scientist was Camillo Golgi. So after his name, this part has been named of the cell, that is called as Golgi apparatus. Okay, so Golgi apparatus looks like this. Okay, it is also a type of similar to that of endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so we'll see what are the various different jobs of this Golgi apparatus. Yeah, so just wait a second. Yeah, so generally the functions of this Golgi apparatus is storage anything which is say suppose nutrients are taken inside the cell. So what is the job of this Golgi apparatus is to for the storage. Okay, storage. Then modifications, if there is some, say suppose there is some organ inside the cell which is suppose damaged. Okay, so what is the job of this Golgi apparatus? To fix this whichever part which is broken, to fix that part, that is the job of this Golgi apparatus, which is very essential. Okay, the next thing is packaging of products in vesicles. Okay, say suppose you have carbohydrates, proteins which are present inside the cell. Okay, so what this Golgi apparatus will do, it will form small packets or sacs inside the cell of particular nutrient. Say suppose carbohydrates, what it will do, it will group all the carbohydrates at one place. Say suppose there are proteins, it will group all the proteins in one place. Okay, so it will group the particular nutrients. Say suppose there is water, it will group water at one place. Say suppose there is oxygen, it will group that oxygen at one place. Okay, and formation of lysosomes. Okay, it is very essential. This is the main function, that is nothing but formation of lysosomes. That is very important. Okay, so membrane bounded vesicles arrange approximately parallel to each other called cistern. It is also connected with the membrane of ER, so it's complex cellular membrane system. So it is generally nothing but connected to endoplasmic reticulum. This Golgi apparatus and endoplasmic reticulum are generally connected. Okay, so that is very essential. So today we have seen the two things that are nothing but endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, the functions and structure of Golgi apparatus and endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so that is very important. So you need to know the structure and functions, otherwise it will be very difficult for all of you all. Okay, so next is there are four parts which are remaining, that is mitochondria, plastids and vacuoles. Okay, only three parts: plastids, vacuoles and mitochondria and lysosomes. Okay, four parts. So I guess we'll study regarding lysosomes today, and we'll stop this video. Okay, so what are lysosomes? Okay, so lysosomes are generally, this is how the lysosome looks like. Okay, so just wait a second. So as you can see over here, lysosome looks like this. Okay, if you can see, this is the form of lysosome. Yeah, if you enlarge that lysosome, it will look like this. So what is the job of this lysosome? So just for your knowledge, I am trying to show you that you can just see Google lysosome and you can see the structure of the lysosomes. Okay, so what is the job of lysosome? They are generally the waste disposal system of the cell. Okay, so say suppose like any of the waste to be removed out from the cell, these lysosomes are very essential. So lysosomes are like a type of a packet, or you can say a bag, okay, wherein all the waste from the cell will be deposited. Say suppose cell will take oxygen and it will produce carbon dioxide, which is a waste. Okay, so cell takes oxygen, it produces carbon dioxide, which is waste, and this carbon dioxide has to be removed out from the body. So where it will be stored inside the cell is nothing but, inside the cell it will be stored inside nothing but the lysosomes. Okay, so carbon dioxide will be stored in this one place. So from there it will be thrown out from the cell. Okay, so who does this job of removing the waste from the cell is nothing but lysosomes. Okay, they do the job of waste disposal. Okay, they dispose of the waste, they throw out the waste. Okay, so that is very important. Helps to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material like bacteria or food. Okay, so say suppose there are any harmful bacteria, virus which enter the cell, what this lysosome does is it nothing but it fights with that bacteria and virus, and it gets the cell cleaned, okay, of that virus or bacteria. Okay, it kills that virus and bacteria and it throws that out. Okay, so this is a type of a soldier inside the cell. Okay, so it will nothing but fight with everyone, okay, whichever harmful substances are coming inside the cell, and it will try to get rid of that harmful substances. Okay, so that is very important. It contains powerful digestive enzymes which help to digest foreign material. So it has enzymes, okay, it has chemicals inside it. So what this chemical does is, any harmful substances if they come, what these chemicals do, they will try to digest this, nothing but they will try to kill these bacteria or any of the harmful substances which enter the cells. Okay, they are also known as suicide bags of the cells. Okay, so why they are called as suicide bags of the cell, I will be telling you in the next video. Okay, but you need to know that lysosome, if suppose question comes which part is called as the suicide cells of the cell, you need to write the answer as lysosomes. Why this is called, I will be telling you all shortly in the next video. Okay, so that is very important. Yeah, so this was regarding lysosomes. So the structure of lysosome is shown over here, and you can also so say suppose there is you can say, if say suppose there is carbon dioxide which is stored over here, which needs to be thrown out from the cell. What happens, these lysosomes, what they will do, they will take this carbon dioxide and they will throw that carbon dioxide outside the cell. Okay, so this is the job of the lysosomes, to get rid of the waste from the cell. So these three functions are clear of endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus and lysosome. So at least 2 to 3 points from every part you need to remember. Okay, so this is very important. I am telling you all again and again and again. So every time whenever you are studying any part, you have to remember 2 to 3 points from each part. Okay, so say suppose if lysosome is asked, you need to remember 3 parts, 3 functions. Say suppose Golgi apparatus is asked, you need to require to remember 3 functions. Okay, so that is very very essential. So thank you everyone. So I'll take your leave, and the three parts which are left, mitochondria, plastids and vacuoles, will be covered in the next video. If you have any doubts, you can tell me the doubts so that we can clear it off. Okay, thank you everyone.